again, lads. It's been a while. It's been a long month anyway since I've been on the bank. But I'm out here today again at Yulden Waters. Feeder fishing at the moment. Might switch over to the pole later. But it's been going well at the moment on the feeder. I've had some nice roach, which is what I came for really, was some good roach. Up to just over the pound mark. I've had some nice tench as well, touching the sort of £3 maybe over, and a couple of crusions of about pound and a half, along with little things thrown in, skimmers and what have you. What I'm using is a 11-foot Cadence CR number 2, CR10 number 2 rod with the Cadence CR7 reel paired on it. I've only just got this back after I broke a midsection on it a while back, and they had to source some spare parts for me, if you will, and they sourced it, and I'm using it. It's beautiful soft action. It's fantastic for this kind of fishing where you're targeting, you know, smaller species, if you will. It absorbs the bites really well. You get a great indication, but when you give that strike, it's a nice soft through action, so you get a real good play out of it, you know. And then the rig I'm using is very, very simple. It's tiny little adapter bead there with a loop to one end of it and a loop to the other. Maggot feeder, which is a 15-gram maggot feeder, which is free running. It's not any, you know, locked in place in any way. And then a 10-inch to 12-inch hook length of 4-pound line with a Camazan B911 14th or 16th hook with 2 or 3 maggots on it. Basically hooking one in the backside, one in the head, alternate, and then filling up your feeder with some maggies. And what I've done, I've clipped up, saw a fish rise over there then, sorry. I've clipped up to the far side, so I'm about 3 foot off the far banking, which is all rushes and everything. So I know I can't go too far, although I have got a habit of being sporadic on my casting when it comes to feeder fishing. And just gently flogging it out there like that. Bury the rod down in the water, sink the line, and we'll put it back up here on his knee. Get it tight. There we go, just a gentle curve in the rod. I'll try and just show you. I've got it there on the see. It's hard for me to show it, but I will switch the video round later. I'm wrapped up in all sorts of thermals here. I've not put on 15 stone, although I'd like to, but got umpteen layers on just to make sure I don't get cold, because it has been a bit chillier in these autumn days, as you can see. All the leaves have gone off the trees now, which is prime time for your roach. All the other species like your bream and that just start dying off a bit, so you get a bit better chance of getting some nice roach out. So if you know any lakes that have got them, good time to go for them now as these autumn months kick in. Just gonna have a gander out there. Now I've also been baiting up just down to my side here, literally 3 foot off the margin, if you will, again, but on this side towards the tree for the pole, because I will get the pole out later, and just see if we can pick up anything down there. I've got some lobworm in case the perch want to give us a grace of presence. I've got some bread for bread punch. I've got maggots, I've got dead maggots, I've got castor, pellet, got everything. But what I'm not using today is ground bait. Trying not to use the ground bait, because it does have a habit of drawing in so many small fish, so many skimmers and things like that. But I don't want to do that. I want to try and just single out the bigger fish as they move around. So what I've been doing is fishing, like I say, my mark out there with the feeder rod. Every now and then just grabbing a couple of maggots and flicking them down this near margin. The same with some pellet, some micros and that down near margin there later on. And see how we get on. The light conditions today have been an absolute Oh, evil git. You've got cloud that's dark, you've got cloud that's light, you've got bright blue sky, you've got haze. So your eyes are all over the shop. That's why I'm half time I'm wearing my sunglasses, half the time I'm not. If you're watching, the focus on the camera's going all over the shop because of it. Because the light, it's like this, not like that. Absolutely all over the place. But the fish don't seem to mind, like I say. Catching quite a few. Just had a little indication there then, so I'm just going to see if it develops. What I'm doing, I'm giving it about 7 or 8 minutes out there, because I have been getting fairly regular bites, so within 7 minutes, if I haven't had a bite, reeling it in, check my bait, maybe change it, rebait up the feeder, back out again. I think we can safely say that these fish, I was going to say a camera shy, but one decided to give us a take, bouncing away like a roach. Might be a skimmer. It's not a big fish, not a big fish at all. I think it's just a little skimmer or a hybrid, but just when I was starting to say not getting a bite, one of them rolls in. It's a little bit of a hybrid, not a monster. There's me disclosure. Nope. There you go. See, a little hybrid. And then back in. He chewed those maggots to hell. Look at that. Absolutely sucked to death. Put that down there, down the other one. Constant stream of bait going in. We'll get back out so you can get another one. Put you on pause for a minute. Right, so we've just put in again, same spot. And wait to see if we get another bite. This is the first time I've feeder fished on here for quite a while. I tend to use the pole on here down the margins, but every time I've come recently, although I've been catching fantastically in the margins, on the far side where those rushes are, I have been noticing a lot more fish sort of congregating and moving around, rising and what have you. And they have been mostly roach, so that's why I thought, I'm going to come with the feeder, I'm going to whack it out to the rushes. It's not far, it's probably, I don't know, 30 yards, 25 yards, 30 yards, that's all. But it's enough that I wouldn't be able to fish it comfortably with a rod, and I wouldn't be able to do it with a pole. You know? Whoa, on and off, did he? Yeah, it's off. Yeah, on and off. I think that was a better fish, it could have been a tench. Never mind, we go again. Could have been that there when the maggots has doubled itself over the hook. Could be the reason. Always check your hook every time you reel in. If you're baiting up or not, just check it. Pays it. So all it takes is one of those maggots or one of your baits to double itself over, and you won't get a decent hook hold. Just fill this feeder up again. Maggies. There it is then. Filled up with maggies, ready to go out again. Bury the rod. And get it tightened up now. Always sink your line as well when you're even feeder fishing. Get that line down and sunk so you can get a nice sort of tension up to your hook and your ledger fairly quickly. It saves when you're winding, you know, when you find that if you are feeder fishing, you've got breezy conditions like we have today, and you're casting out to your mark. If you're not sinking your line, you're getting bowls like that in your line. Of course, you're winding to try and tighten up to your weight, so you can get that little curve in the end of your rod. You might not realise it, but it's moving it all the time. And of course, where you're baiting up or originally, or where your first initial feed's going when you cast out, is there, and you might end up there. Fish are feeding here, you're way over here. And it can be the difference between picking up fish regularly and not. So just bear it in mind when you cast out. As soon as your feeder hits the water, put your rod under the water, keep it down there until the weight hits the deck, and just sort of reel up to it. And you won't be reeling half as much line to keep it tight, not half. And it might make the difference. And of course, always make sure you got a coffee. Can't fish without coffee. See, it's gone bright again now. I'm struggling to see that tip on the water with the ripple. Put the glasses on. Better. Something about fishing in autumn, when you've got all these changeable conditions the way we get them here in the UK. You know, it can be warm, you know, 17 degrees, 18 degrees in the afternoon. During the night it can go down to 0, 1, minus, you know. So your water temperature's like this. And it's a battle to try and figure out how the fish are going to feed, where they're going to feed, if they're going to feed, what they might want to take. It really does, it makes it a challenge over here compared to sort of like summertime when they're on it all the time, you know. Well, I'll say on it all the time, yeah, of course they take days off from feeding, but predominantly you're normally into some form of fish somewhere when you're on a commercial. And of course you get the lovely difference in colours as well over it. Oh, there we go. Oh, that's a better fish. Oh, yes. Or at least it was. Oh, Roger. You're getting better at this fishing malarkey, you are. You know, you're only losing the ones on camera now. Oh, that was a better fish, that. Probably one of the tench, by the feel of it. But certainly a better fish, that. Ah, check me hook. Hook's fine. Not blunt. Took all my maggots off it, really, apart from one. You lose one, you rig one. There we go again. One maggot through the head, one maggot through the back end like that, just nicking it on. And give me a yellow one, I think. Let him go on, he's just going to sit there like that. Top of the feeder again. lose another fish out there, I'm going to have to think of something, because I'm going to be spooking all these fish off. That's 2 nice fish I've lost now in 2 casts. We live and learn. Oh my, but he was on good and proper and all, like that. I never get angry at losing a fish, but I do get upset when they're a good one. Mind you. Do we ever lose small ones? We only ever lose big fish. Never lose the small ones. Anyone ever says how big, a huge fish when we lost it? Must have gained half a pound before it even hit the water. You know, it was massive. Sun's going in again. Gone dark. And also I can see the tip a bit better. Mind you, on that last bite I didn't even have to see the tip. It was taking the rod halfway across the lake. It was a hell of a take. I still lost it. Great. Come on, fishies. Where are you? Ooh, a little bit of a tap. They're lovely, fresh, juicy maggots. I only got them yesterday from a tackle shop. Just love them. There we go. And again, a nice hard bite that. It's not fighting like a tench, but it feels like it's got a bit of weight behind it, whatever it is. Going down the lake. Is it a crucian? Could be. Yes, I think it is a crucian. Not a bad one either at that. Let's have a look at her. Oh, that was nice of her. Spat the hook out in the net. Very good. Let's get these hooks out. Get the hook out of the net first, eh? And there she is. Woo. Stop kicking. Stop kicking. Woo. It's kicking away like hell there. Yeah, lovely crucian that. Probably getting on for half a pound. Maybe a bit more. An absolute boot. Look at that. Don't mind catching them all day. Let's get her back. Although if they're moving in, the chance of the